Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Najla Kayyem. I'm the owner and CEO of SICFIT. And today we are going to talk a little bit about food as fuel and how you can use food to fuel your body for optimal nutrition and to look better, to feel better, and to perform better. Because ultimately, everybody is here because one of those three things. So you see we've got all ages in the audience, which I love because we will have a little bit of audience participation, and it's really important to teach kids proper nutrition. So parents who brought your kids, thank you very much. You guys are setting the standard and leading by example, and we really appreciate that. So most of the presentation is going to take place here on the TV. A little bit is going to be interactive. I want you guys to ask as many questions as you want and as you can. If I can address it immediately, I will. If not, we'll just put it up on the board in a little parking lot, and we'll address the questions as we come up. All right. Okay, so food is fuel. We're going to talk about lifestyle choices, eating for longevity, basic paleo principles. We're also going to talk about livable paleo, and some different tips and tricks on how to make this a lifestyle so it's not significantly a diet, because ultimately our goal is to get you to live independently and be strong and be healthy for the rest of your life and not have to go on diets to get to your ideal weight. So what is SICFIT? I see some new faces in the crowd here today. We are a lifestyle-based strength and conditioning facility. We train athletes from life to fitness to sport. Life is for those that need a lifestyle change. Maybe they're pre-diabetic, they just had a baby, they're coming off an injury. Fitness would be for someone who wants to look better and feel better than yesterday, feel good in a bathing suit, look good naked. Maybe they work out 2 or 3 days a week, but they need a little bit more reinforcement. They need a coach, they need accountability. And then the sport athletes, and those are the folks that want to compete at a higher level. Maybe they want to run a marathon or do a triathlon or hike a rim to rim or do a weightlifting competition. They're going to require a different dose of nutrition and fitness than the life athletes might. And so today when we talk, there's a broad range, right? And it's going to depend on where you are in that cycle of what kind of food intake you're going to need to fuel your body to look better, to perform better, and to get the desired result that you're looking for, whether it's maintenance, whether it's to get a six-pack, whether it's to perform and beat a specific record or a time, or just to feel good in your own skin and in your body. We do corporate wellness programming, we do private training, we do exclusive coaching, health coaching, and group fitness classes, and we have a wide variety of different types of fitness classes. So if you haven't come in to meet with us one-on-one to do an introductory session, we've got a couple coaches in the back that can, Kaylin's back here, David, that you can see and get that set up. But we recommend that everybody comes in, does a one-on-one with us so that we can learn a little bit more about you, learn about your goals and objectives, and get you set up for success and on the right path. We train in all ages, so our youngest client is 4 years old, and our oldest is about 82. So everything in between, you know, we've got Olympic athletes, we've got folks that have been sedentary for most of their life. We have a new client that, you know, all she does is walk to or from her car, and she's an accountant and sits in a cubicle at a desk all day long and does no physical activity. So based on what your goals are and what your needs are, we're able to accommodate it and make a difference in your life. So I'm going to draw your attention to the video here first. Totally.
Could be developing diabetes. We have to make a change. Oh yeah.
You're graduating. Watch TV. You won't know what to eat.
You can't do this.
Yes, can I get a...
Deep in.
You have to make a change.
So that's a pretty impactful story that we like to show and share. We're on a quest to change lives, and I'm sure a lot of you see some similarities in that short video of things that maybe you grew up doing or that you might be doing with your kids or that you see they're a part of your family, and we want to make sure that we can stop that cycle and educate as many people as we can on healthy, nutritious food, because ultimately that's what we want to do, is to put in our body, is fuel our bodies for optimal performance. So we have a couple themes throughout that we like to say. The first one is you are what you eat, and Miss Piggy actually said that, and that's a great quote. If you can't read it, you can't eat it. So for you kids in here, if you guys can't read a label or an ingredient, you cannot eat it. And you just have to think that way. So, you know, basic first graders, second graders should be able to read labels. And at that point, if it's something they're having a really hard time understanding, it's not real food. Good food, good mood. Good food puts you in a good mood. When you have bad food, it makes you crash and it makes you moody. And really out of place. So it's important to fuel your body so that you're in a good mood. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live in. Nobody is going to give you another body to live in. No one's going to say, oh, we're done with this one. Let's transform you and put you into this one. You get one. So you get one shot to take care of it. And the good thing with our bodies is that we're resilient and that we ebb and flow in between things. So, you know, we have bad days. Everybody has bad days and might eat something that they regret or, you know, enjoy something. But it's what happens over the long term that's going to affect you and affect your body. So every once in a while to have something, sure, go for it. But what are you doing 80% of the time? And you'll hear me talk a little bit about the 80-20 rule. Most of your time should be spent in that 80%, be in a favorable environment. Food is the most abused anxiety drug, and exercise is the most underutilized antidepressant. How do you feel after a great workout? April, how do you feel after an amazing workout?
Great.
What are your endorphins doing?
They're skyrocketing.
They're skyrocketing. When you're sluggish, you're just hanging out on the couch and you're watching TV or playing video games, what do you want to do? Hang out on the couch and play more video games. Right? It's the same type of cycle and deal. So you've got to break the cycle. You've got to get out there. I know it's hard, and it's hard to make a start. But once you make a choice to make a difference in the way that you feel and in your life, there's no turning back. And you're going to just fuel yourself with knowledge and information and those endorphins to keep you going. Fitness is king and nutrition is queen, and together they make a happy kingdom. So you need both. You can't do one without the other. So you need to work out and you need to eat right in order to get those optimal results. We've got on here just a group class and some private training. So depending on the lifestyle of each individual or what they need, private training might be a good environment for somebody who might be insecure about themselves or about their movements, or has to learn a little bit more about fitness and how to make it a part of their everyday life. So here are some results of some real clients that are real gym members here. You guys will notice Mary on the left-hand side. Mary is there. She's about 165 pounds. Her two boys are also in the program, and she's now about 125 pounds. And you guys all know Mary, so that's an awesome feat there. Mike Sotag here also, just showing from like a fitness perspective to a sport perspective when you change somebody's diet. So we didn't do much changing on the exercise fitness side of it, but we dialed in his diet and made some tweaks so that, because he wanted to have a six-pack and he wanted to get ripped. All right, so what is paleo? Paleo was actually the most Google search diet last year. So we've been doing paleo for, I think we're going on 7 to 8 years now. I'm going to have Kaylin pull down my me and my husband's before and after photo. But I decided I wanted to make a change. I used to weigh about 155 pounds, I believe, before, not at the most when I was pregnant, but at the most not being pregnant. And I decided, man, I was over feeling fat and not feeling good in my clothes and constantly going like this with my shirt and standing like this and pulling my pants up and not feeling good in shorts. And I was ready to just make a change. And at that point, I decided, okay, I'm just going to do this for 3 months and just make it happen. And in 3 months, I lost about 15 pounds. And nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, hands down. That's just the bottom line. So here's the shot of us at our wedding. And then this is me a year later. So after 3 months, I lost 15 pounds. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I could do this. This is like, I could keep doing this and keep rolling. And so I didn't cheat for 3 months. And that made a huge difference. And if you've got a lot more weight to lose, you're going to lose weight a lot more rapidly. For somebody who only has 10, 15 pounds to lose, it's a lot harder to lose the weight. But you also have to take into consideration, how long did it take you to put that weight on? Right? You can't think that this is a magic pill, it's going to happen overnight. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, and it takes some consistency to make it happen. So what is paleo? We work off of the real food pyramid, and that's eating real food, things that nature intended us to eat. Meat, chicken, fish, vegetables, eggs, seeds, nuts, oils. Anything that grows in the ground or grows from a tree or has a mother or you can kill with a stick, you can have. As easy as that. So kids, let's play a little experiment here. Where does steak come from? Camille.
Mother.
A mother. Okay, but what is the steak? That's good. Let's take the second step. A steak comes from a cow, and a cow has a mother. All right, what about strawberries? Where do strawberries come from?
Ground.
The ground, good. What about avocados? Where do avocados come from? A plant, good, okay. What about chicken? Where does chicken come from? Yep.
Mother?
A chicken?
A chicken.
Chicken, it has a mother, okay. What about Doritos? Where do those come from?
Processed people. And factory. Processed factory.
A factory, okay, so that's man-made food, right? That's not food that our bodies are meant to digest and meant to ingest and be healthy about. So that's stuff that people are making. In the early 1980s, there were about 150,000 food items in a grocery store. Fast forward 20 years, today there are over 600,000 food items in the grocery store. Okay, that's a huge increase, and that's all man-made food. So a food company comes out with a product and they want to change it up a little bit, and maybe they make it low fat, and then maybe they make it no fat, and then maybe they change the packaging and the labels up a little bit. Early in the 80s also, food lobbyists lobbied to have the sugar content percentage removed from packaging, because in the 80s the low fat, no fat trend came to play, and when you take fat out of foods, it tastes like crap. So what do you do to it? You have to add sugar to make it taste good. So they added all this sugar in to that food, and then the daily consumption or nutritional consumption of your daily intake of sugar that's currently based on a 2,000 calorie diet in the United States skyrocketed to like 120%. And they went back to Congress and said, we can't sell food that says it's 120% of your total intake for one serving. So they lobbied against it, and they had it completely removed. So we've got all kinds of different food up here and labels, and you'll notice that on even healthy stuff, it doesn't say what the percentage of total value is of sugar. So you have to be aware of that and figure that out for yourself, because no one cares more about your body and about your health than you do. Don't wait for your husband or your wife or your kids to care any more about you and your health than you actually care about yourself. So it's time to make a lifestyle change, or it might be time to make yourself a priority. Or you might have a loved one that might need some help, and it's your responsibility to kind of nudge them along and say, hey, now's the time, and I'm here to support you. And having a supportive environment at home is paramount, and it's key, and it really makes a difference, and it sets you up for success. Okay, so what do you drink? You can drink water, you can drink tea, you can drink coffee, you can drink almond milk. What can you not drink? Soda, that's a good one. What else? What would be another bad drink? Milk, okay. Alcohol. All right. We want to avoid, with this diet or this lifestyle, we want to avoid grains. All kinds of processed grains, artificial sweeteners. We want to avoid dairy, legumes, preservatives, processed foods, cereals, pastas. And cereals and pastas fall under grains, but people don't associate it with it. They just think, oh, it's cereal, or oh, it's granola, or oh, it's good for me. It's still a grain. Right now in our house, we're doing no wheat and no corn syrup and no dairy. So it's not strict 100% paleo, but for the month of January, our entire family, including my 2 kids who are here, are doing that, and we still have plenty of food options out there. Any questions about what you are allowed or what you're not allowed? Yes?
So, legumes.
Yes.
Why is that? I understand it is off the paleo diet, but
Yeah.
why? Because that grows in the ground. That seems very natural to me.
Yeah, so there's a process that goes along with that, and a lot of them are genetically modified or genetically engineered and multiplied. So it just kind of depends on if it's livable paleo or if you're strict paleo. So if you're in this for weight loss, I suggest go 30 days cold turkey, strict paleo. You're going to see a tremendous weight loss, and then you can add in what works for you. So like, what do? I do legumes. I do hummus. I do kidney beans or in chili, those types of things. But I'm not doing this for weight loss anymore. When I was, and that was my goal, I know that those things affect how I burn calories and what my metabolic intake looks like. Okay, and there's some alternatives there. Now, for those of you who are vegetarian, which I know there are a couple in the group, I would say include legumes into your diet because that does have a significant amount of protein, and you're going to need that because you're not eating meat. So that's a little bit more challenging. Any other questions on what to avoid or what you can have? Brown rice is a grain, right. But if you're in the sport category, so remember life, fitness, sport, the lifers, if you want to lose 50 pounds, you're going to go strict. The fitness folks, you want to maintain, maybe tweak it up a little bit, you're going to go 80-20. The sport folks, we're going to throw this out the window because they're going to eat clean, but they're going to be consuming dairy most likely. They're going to be consuming a lot more calories and a lot more protein, and they're going to need a lot more sugars to exert what they need. So they're competing, they're training 2-3 times a day, maybe 2 to 4 hours a day. You're burning a lot more calories than someone who's just coming into a regular fitness class or has a training session for a half hour. So again, that goes back to the individual. It's not a one-size-fits-all program, but what it is a lifestyle to set you up for success. And ultimately, what we want to do is eat clean. If you can kill it with the stick, if it grows in the ground, you can pick it from a tree, it has a mother, it's fair game. Okay?
One question.
Yes.
What about bananas?
Bananas are great. Bananas are great. So if you're in it for weight loss, you don't want to do it in the evening because there's a lot of sugar and it's higher on the glycemic index. My kids have a banana a day. I probably eat a banana a day. I use them for breakfast. I put them in shakes. It just depends on what you're trying to do individually again. But they are allowed. Yes. All right, so this is a little, yes? Quinoa is a grain. So again, if you're doing it for weight loss, for that 30-day period, take it out. If you're doing it for lifestyle, include it in your diet. Rethink your drink. So a lot of people consume a lot of calories via liquid. And so this is an experiment that we do with our kids at summer camp. Yep, you guys all participated in this experiment. And we take, 15, 20 different drinks, everything from Coca-Cola to coconut water to orange juice, strawberry milk, anything that you would see that kids would typically want as a beverage. And we do a little experiment with them, and they figure out what the sugar content is on it, and they have to do some reading of labels. And this here, 1 table packet of sugar is 1 gram of sugar. Okay, so what you see at a restaurant in the container there. And we turn around and we read the labels and we see, oh my goodness, this Minute Maid orange juice has 45 grams of sugar in it. That means they're consuming 45 of these. Man, knock yourself out. Just eat 2 of those at the restaurant instead. Think about it. Okay, it dissolves in water, it dissolves in liquid. Then we take it the next step and we pour water in here and we show them how the sugar dissolves and you can't see it. But you just, again, have to be educated. Read labels. Take a look at the back. And then I had them put them in order from best to worst. So what's the worst? Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola, Sprite, Powerade. Powerade has corn syrup in it. Okay, Gatorade does not. So if you're making a choice between Powerade and Gatorade, go Gatorade. Chocolate milk, orange juice, strawberry milk. This is an honest tea. Coconut waters are better. And then water is absolutely the best beverage for you. And we suggest you drink half your body weight in ounces of water a day. So depending on what you weigh, that's typically what we recommend. There's some different tricks to do it. You can take a water bottle and put some rubber bands around it and know that, I have to drink 5 of these a day. Maybe I have 5 rubber bands around here. Every time I drink one, I take a rubber band off. I see guys with a gallon of water and they mark off, at this time of the day, I should be this far down in my water. At this time of the day, I should be this far down in my water, and do it with a Sharpie. Whatever works for you. Carry a water bottle with you, and just don't leave home without it, and pound as many of these as you can. Water is magic. It reduces bloating. It reduces headaches, or if you get headaches. It just helps with your complexion. It helps with everything, and there's no magic to it. It just flushes your system out. All right, so the eyes of nutrition. Insulin and inflammation. So insulin is a fat storage hormone, and inflammation restricts blood flow. When we talk about inflammation, we would like to reference it back to like your gums in your mouth and what that's like when that gets inflamed. It really expands, right? But it's kind of contracted in there. And I've got Dr. Fitzgibbons here, and she's going to give a little presentation at the end, a little about blood work and inflammation and how this all ties together. So I'll save the science for her. Okay, so protein. What are proteins? Let's do a little hand raising. What's a protein?
Chicken.
Chicken, good. Ham. Adults. Fish, good. I'm going to go not avocados this one. Eggs. Tofu. Nuts. Yes, in your case. Turkey.
Broccoli.
And not really. Bacon, good, bacon. Everybody always loves bacon. And bacon is okay. I typically have, I don't know, my husband thinks too much bacon, but I probably have 3-4 servings of bacon a week. I eat that for breakfast religiously. You do too? Good. There are less nitrates in bacon than there are in beets. So a lot of times I hear people say, oh, there's so many nitrates in it, and you can also buy bacon that's nitrate-free. Or uncured bacon. I've got some different food samples up here as we talk through to give you some different ideas. So this is a staple on my Trader Joe's shopping list. I probably buy 3 or 4 of these every single time I go to the grocery store. I use them for breakfast. I use it with vegetables. I use it to wrap vegetables. And I'll show you a couple different photos and recipe ideas as we go through here. Yes? Doesn't matter. Preference for you. You know. Yep, it just, you know, I'd say both. Add them both in your diet. I'm not about depriving people of things. If you like them, eat them. They're both legal, whatever your preference is. So protein is a necessary building block. It really helps with muscle repair and growth. And it helps with our bones and our skin and our enzymes and our blood cells. And we recommend that you eat 1 gram of protein a day per body weight. So I'm 123 pounds. I should be consuming 123 grams of protein a day, and broken out throughout the day, throughout a 24-hour cycle. And so that just depends on how your eating habits are. And I suggest doing, you know, smaller meals, maybe eating 4 or 5, maybe even 6 times a day when you include a protein shake into that mix, and you can easily hit that. We also talk about serving sizes. So you want about a serving size is about a fist size. So fist size, or if you turned over the palm of your hand, what fits within the palm of your hand for nuts or fruits, berries, that type of scenario. Carbohydrates. So let's talk about good carbohydrates and bad carbohydrates. Who can list some good carbohydrates? Fruit, good. Another good carbohydrate. Broccoli. Good carbohydrate. Sweet potato. Good carbohydrate. One more. Yeah. Carrot. One more. Vegetables. Awesome. Okay, bad carbohydrates. Spaghetti. Sugar. Good. It's not a carbohydrate. Yes. Bread. Other bad ones. Yep. One more. Wheat. Good. Okay. So good carbs burn up slowly. And bad carbs spike our insulin and make you fat. So carbohydrates are a great form of energy, and when you're in the sport category, you need to consume even more carbohydrates. I like to stick with the zone principle, which is about 30-30-30 or 33-33-33%, 30-30-40. Just depends on what your intake is of proteins, fats, and carbs at every meal. Ideally, you should try to have protein, fat, and carb at every meal. Paleo is really more about food quality, and zone is more about food quantity. And until you're ready to really dial it in and measure and get a specific measurable result, I wouldn't worry about the quantity of food you're eating. Don't worry about how much you're eating. If you're eating all good stuff, you can eat as much as you want. So you can eat as much fruit and vegetables and chicken and steak and fish as you can consume, and you still will see health benefits and still will lose weight and still be on a path to success.
Do you recommend less red meat versus the white meats or other?
You want to do lean protein. So the leanest, cut that you can get possible. Chicken and fish are healthier for you than red meat, but red meat is not, bad. It's part of that protein intake. If you're eating it every single meal and all you're having is steak or red meat, I would, encourage you to switch it up because you're going to get vitamins and minerals and nutrients other places. You need some omega-3s and things that, maybe meat can't supply for you.
What about all the sugar and fruit?
All the sugar and fruit. Are you in it for weight loss or are you in it for longevity?
Not weight loss.
So your sugar and fruit's going to be fine, and you're an athlete and you're training multiple times a day. So you are going to need more carbohydrates and you're going to need more fruit. Well, a sugar, at the end of the day, on the molecular level, a sugar is a sugar is a sugar. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Okay? You have to just think about it that way. So yes, you want to limit your intake of sugar. All fruit diet, probably not. Even juicing, I'm a fan of juicing, but it's all sugar when you juice it because you're taking all the fiber out of the fruit, and the fiber is what filters it to make it good for you. When you take all the fiber out, it is just like sugar. So that's, the difference between the juicing side of it. So again, depends on the athlete. Okay, good fats. So where are my avocados? Who said avocados? Avocados. So avocados are good fat. They're a great fat. Olive oils are a really good fat. Nuts are a really good fat. And fats help with anti-inflammation. They assist in burning fat, and they are the preferred energy source that we like to eat. Anybody heard of the Atkins diet? Yeah, it was big in the early 90s. It works. It works, but it's not very healthy. It's all fat-based, and we want to make sure that we're maintaining an equal portion of fats, proteins, and carbs to fuel our body because we need all three. We just want to choose the best ones out there for us. Okay, so supplementation. My thoughts on supplementation is you should be getting most of your vitamins and nutrients from real food. And you should only be supplementing what you're lacking or what you're deficient in. And you only know that when you do a blood panel. And you see where you're deficient in what vitamins and minerals, and then you can supplement with a multivitamin. There are two supplements that we do promote and that we like to talk about and that I think are important. The first one is fish oil. Fish oil helps with lubricating your joints, it helps with muscle soreness, and it helps with anti-inflammation. So I'll pass these around. We carry both of these. This is a mint and a tangerine flavor, and I'm a big fan of the liquid fish oil. We compare the liquid fish oil to something you might get at Costco. You get the gel caps. You have to consume 12 gel caps is equivalent to 1 teaspoon of this fish oil. And what happens when you take all those 12 gel caps and they sit in your belly, and what's going on in there? It's just gel caps, right? Like you just don't need it. So if you don't need to put something into your body, don't add it. So we like to go with the purest form possible. Protein powder, that's another one. Where's Miss Rosie? Can you grab her? She was going to do samples. So protein powder, we've got two proteins that we like to talk about. This is the egg-based protein, so this is a chocolate, and this is a vanilla. And we want to go with the least amount of ingredients possible. So again, we're huge into reading labels and comparing and contrasting. These are the cleanest on the market. You guys can pass these around, take a look as well. The chocolate, you guys are going to sample if you'd like. Miss Rosie's going to pass some around. I had one right before I came in at 6 o'clock. So I was like, oh, I'm doing this. It was so good. I'm going to make another batch for everybody else. So what I put in it, it was chocolate, egg chocolate protein. It was almond milk. And a banana. And some ice. Do you find it? Okay. Okay. So Rosie will pass around that, and you guys can try it and see how you like it. And they're quick and easy, and my kids eat them. What you guys have them, how many times a week? I don't know, 3 maybe? Probably 3 days a week after school. Yeah, there's the vanilla one you can put with fruit. The chocolate one, I also like to add macadamia nuts to it. There's the vanilla one is a great dessert. You can add pitted dates to it with almond milk, and it's like a dessert smoothie. It's amazing. Yes?
So what's the difference between this and let's say the GNC whey anabolic mix?
So whey is a milk derivative. So I've got whey here also. We also do whey. So if you're in the sport category again, Probably more on the whey side because you're not really interested in losing weight or getting that physique down. It's more about performance. This is a whey protein. This is the cleanest protein we've seen. Again, we want to compare and contrast. So I don't know exactly what protein you have, but what I would do is probably take a photo of this back and compare it to what you have, and you'll clearly see what the difference is. You're probably going to see 45 ingredients there, and this protein here has 4 ingredients. So the least amount of ingredients, the better. Better, pure, more pure food. Plant-based protein is good too. So that would be something if you're a vegetarian, there's a pea protein, there's a plant-based protein, there's a hemp protein. There are different options on the market. You might have to consume more of it in order to get the grams that you need. So in here, these are 23 grams of protein in 1 scoop of this egg protein. Again, it's just going to be dependent on your body intake, how many grams of protein you need in order to sustain that. Good?
That's very good.
And the kids love it. So that's just almond milk, the egg protein, 1 banana, and ice.
Now, if you can't do almond milk, what would you use?
Water or coconut milk, rice milk. Yeah, if you're not 100%, you know, so like kids, I wouldn't have them go 100% because my kids are very active. Oh yeah, they have those like 2 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week after school. And you don't want to do it, you know, really as a meal replacement. It's almost like it's a snack, or it's good for after training. We'll talk a little bit about that here. So recommended daily dose of protein and fish oil. Life athletes, just start something. Just get on a protein and get on a fish oil. 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up is ideal. If you are in it for weight loss, you're going to want to work out and do some cardio or do some strength training in the morning on an empty stomach and then consume some food. Fitness is more about consistency. So doing it consistently over time, constantly taking it so that you see an impact in what you're doing. We want 30 grams of protein 30 to 60 minutes after training in that case. Sport and performance, you're going to add carbohydrates to the 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes. So you see the sport guys slam a protein shake. I had another client the other day and she was like, well, he's drinking a protein shake. And I'm like, yeah, well, you don't need it for like 45 minutes because you need to lose 20 pounds and this guy over here needs to gain weight. So he just tore down all of his muscles by, you know, working out and stretch the muscle fibers. He's got to replenish it immediately so that he doesn't lose that and lose any mass. Whereas those that want to lose a little bit more weight need to wait a little bit longer to consume that. Okay, so that's really important on timing. And then again, the ratio for those who are training would be 2 to 1 carbohydrates to grams of protein, and you'll see them add Gatorade scoops, so powdered Gatorade into that as well to get that extra carbohydrate intake. Ratio during competitive season for those athletes who are training at a high level is 3 to 1. So they're going to consume 3 times more carbohydrates than protein right after a training session. And fish oil, of course, and then any multivitamin based on what they are deficient in. So quick and healthy snack ideas. This is always kind of the go-to part of the presentation where everyone's like, so what can I eat that's quick? What can I eat that's fast? So I don't have time to do this. We've got a couple different options. These are some of our favorite quick healthy snack ideas. Lara bars, Kind bars, and Noji bars. These are Lara bars. If you take a look at the ingredients here, we'll pass that around. It says ingredients, cashews, and dates. That's it. Okay, if you take a look at some of the protein bars that you might have at home or that you see at a gas station, there's a list of ingredients this long, 25, 30 different things. Again, the least amount of stuff going in your body. So these are sustain packs. We sell these here at the gym as well. You never want to get caught hungry without food. So like throwing these in your car, in your middle console, in your purse. These are good snacks for kids as well. If you're a beef jerky person, that's a great snack. Plantain chips and guacamole. That's one of my go-to favorites. Plantain chips here. You get these at Trader Joe's. You can get them at Whole Foods. You can get them at a grocery store with any kind of guacamole. Or if you're in it for longevity and lifestyle, you can do these with hummus as well, with salsa. Those are great go-to snacks.
Sweet and they're salty.
Yeah.
I was confused about that.
You had them last night.
I had them last night when I was like with guacamole, but yes, they're salty.
And Beth is a longtime friend of mine who came over for dinner last night, and she's like, what are you making? Why are you cooking so much? Because I was cooking dinner for her. But while I was cooking, because I was already out cooking, I'm like, well, I'm going to make dinner for tomorrow, and I'm going to prep this for this day, and I'm going to do this. So I was making hard-boiled eggs, and she's like, can I peel these for you? I'm like, oh, no, I don't need to do that till later. She's like, well, are you making dinner with them? And I'm like, no, that's for tomorrow. So when you're in the kitchen, and if I could throw hard-boiled eggs in while I'm already cooking, that only takes 10, 15 minutes to do. Why not, you know, utilize your resources and multitask and do a little bit all at the same time? More snacks, so almond butter. We've got little packets of almond butter as well. These are awesome to keep in your purse, to keep in your car. I throw these in my kids' backpacks for snack, and they just rip it open and eat it. And it's a great amount of protein and fat in these as well. Coconut chips. This is my nemesis. I eat these like they're going out of style. It's called Dang, and they're really good. But they're dang, right? There's no sugar added. It's straight up just coconut and sea salt. There is another Dang that does have sugar added to it, so you've got to be really careful. But these are amazing, and it's an awesome little snack. You can get, no, but Trader Joe's does have a coconut one, but it does have sugar in it. I got this one at Whole Foods. I got also Safeway has them, Bash's has them. So we're passing around now a almond butter cup. So this is almond butter and dark chocolate. So instead of and this is the healthiest treat or candy that you could have. So if you've got to have sweets, or you're going to have something, you know, that you need something like that, or you feel like you want it, or there's a treat out there that you want to experience, always go for a peanut butter cup, because it has the most nutritional dense value and the least amount of sugar. So you always want to choose chocolates and peanut butters and almond butters over anything sticky, or processed or colored, or with food colorings like Skittles or Laffy Taffy or those types of candy. So when you're making better choices for your kids when it comes to candy, choose those items as well. And Miss Rosie sells these peanut butter cups also in packages, and they're amazing. So
Where do you get that?
here, we sell them here at the gym. Yeah, so you can place an order with her as well. Okay, so here are some family favorite recipes that I like to do. Over here is sweet potato wrapped in bacon. So you take a sweet potato, you peel the sweet potato, you cut it into 2 to 3 inch chunks. You take a piece of bacon and you wrap it around and you put it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and you toss it in the oven at like 350, 375. Yeah, can you save it for me? Thanks. Put it in the oven until you like your bacon crispy. You can turn them over, you can broil them, pull them all out, and they're awesome to take to parties. They're great finger food. They're great to put in lunches. My kids love them for lunch. We eat them after school for snacks. You can put them in the freezer. You can put them in the refrigerator and have a ton of them. So that's one of my go-to staples at home. Nuts and dried berries. We put a lot of this on salads, dried berries, to kind of make it a little bit sweeter, especially when I'm not doing dairy. I notice when I don't do dairy, I get a lot tighter. I like to call it the dairy layer. When you add, dairy into your diet, Greek yogurt, cheese, even if it's a little bit at a time, I have this layer that's like a centimeter all around my body. And when I don't do it, it goes away. So you can totally see the difference. This is a paleo pancake. So this paleo pancake is made with 1 egg, 1 banana, and a teaspoon of almond butter. And you make it just like you would the batter, and you put it on a skillet, and you cook it just like that. Oh, and a scoop of that the vanilla protein I put in there also. So they're protein-packed pancakes. And then we top them with applesauce and berries. So instead of using syrup, you're using a natural applesauce, no sugar added, unsweetened applesauce. You can get this at Trader Joe's, anywhere. And berries, and you cook it with coconut oil. And you can use a spray or spray olive oil. So again, going back to those basics. Okay, this here is bacon Brussels sprouts. So who remembers eating Brussels sprouts when they were a kid and gross, right? That's all changed. So now you eat Brussels sprouts. Do you like them? That's good.
Yeah.
So you take the Brussels sprouts, you cut them in half, you put them on a cookie sheet, and you bake them, and you make bacon, and you cut up that bacon, and you toss it all together, and you broil it. And it's phenomenal. It's amazing, and everybody loves it. And it's a great way to get protein and carbohydrates that are really good for you. This is the egg protein shake that you guys just had. So it was almond milk, banana, egg protein, and some ice. Blended together. You tasted it. Okay, some more family favorites here. We've got this summer salad. So there's a little bit of mint in the salad with peaches and apples and blackberries and raspberries. This is my staple breakfast, 2 eggs and probably like 4 to 6 pieces of bacon and fruit. This here is a mushroom, taken out the inside, and I cook on the side or in a pan some sausage and some peppers and some onions, and you saute that up, and then you take that mixture and you put it in the mushroom, and then sprinkle almond flour on top of it, or an almond meal or a cashew meal. These are also substitutes for like a flour. You can use these for baking. Put that in the oven and bake it, and they're amazing. And then you eat that with like a cantaloupe or a fruit. And then down here are some of my kids' favorites. These are egg quiche cups. And that's super easy. You take a carton of eggs, just like this. You take a bowl, you put them all in it, and you mix those eggs up. You take your cupcake cookie sheet there, you spray it with a little bit of olive oil spray or coconut spray. You take whatever protein vegetable mixture you have. I like to use whatever you had for dinner the night before. It could be like chicken and broccoli. You could do just bacon. You can do sausage and peppers, whatever protein and carbohydrate vegetable you'd like. Put it in the different tins and then pour the egg mixture on top and put them in the oven for 20 minutes, 25 minutes till the egg is cooked. Pull them out, pop them out, put them in a Ziploc bag. They're good to go for a week in your refrigerator, and they're easy breakfast things. So you can just pop them out, put them in the microwave for 20, 30 seconds, and you're good to go. You can walk out the door. So the excuse of I don't have time in the morning to eat breakfast, takes 20 minutes to do this, and you can make breakfast for the whole week. Camille, I make them for her with just eggs in them, or just eggs and bacon. You can make a scramble in it, super easy. And then here, this we take it up a notch here. And we've added like a breading. And basically I took almond meal in a bowl with coconut oil and some salt and pepper seasoning, and you create like a dough or like a paste, and then you stick it at the bottom of the tin, then put the mixture on top, and now you've got your little quiche with a breaded bottom, with not bread, but an almond meal base. So, but yeah, you can follow recipes. I'm going to show you a couple photos of things that do have recipes. Like I made paleo cinnamon rolls. Well, I had no idea where to start, so yes. I looked up a recipe. But paleo pancakes, so the recipe I did tell you, I make them all different ways. Every day, every time I do them, they taste different. My kids are like, oh, that didn't taste like they did the other day. Well, you're right, they didn't, because I put this in it this time. So I make them a lot with organic pumpkin too, or waffles. We have a waffle maker, so I might add a can of pumpkin with applesauce and an egg and a banana and make that the mixture and the batter. It just kind of depends on what I have in the pantry and what is going on and what's seasonal. So during Halloween time or October, I'd probably buy like 10 of these, because I know in February, March, April, they're not going to have pumpkin readily available for me. But these are good for years. Not that you want to keep them that long, but yes?
I have a question about the dairy. What's the issue? What does dairy do that's bad?
So I'm going to let Dr. Fitzgibbons answer that question later on. But if one food for thought item is, we are the only species that drinks another species' milk. Okay, so milk is great for kids, and mother's milk especially has a tremendous amount of vitamins and nutrients, and breast milk is awesome and great, and it helps with brain development and growing bones. And milk, or animals and kids are given milk to grow and get bigger. And there's tons of hormones now injected in milk. And so what's that doing to us? It's making us bigger. It's just evolving the process. So at a certain point, you really don't need that anymore, because you're done developing and done trying to get bigger and fueling your body. But there are more scientific elements into it that she can probably touch on afterward. And if you do dairy, like a cream, a heavy cream, full fat stuff is better than the low fat stuff or the skim milk stuff. Because again, they have to take out the stuff, strip it, and put other stuff in order to get that to taste better. And you know, with the full fat cream or heavy cream or a full fat milk, it's more nutrient dense because it's more natural. Lunch ideas. So that's always a struggle. especially with kids or if you're going to work and you need some different ideas of what to do here. This is a turkey, salami, cucumber, plantain chips, a side of hummus, a side of guacamole, and some peaches. This one here, hard-boiled egg, some blueberries. This is a turkey roll-up. My kids probably do that twice a week. You take a piece of turkey, cucumber, avocado, some mustard, roll it up. You can do 3, 4 of those. You can do 1 of those, just depending on your appetite. You can do that with any kind of deli meat. Again, you just want to read the ingredients and try to get the cleanest type out there. Trader Joe's also has packaged chicken. I don't think I brought it, but just individually packaged chicken that I just cut up in strips, and we do that for lunch. If you can make a salad and carry it with you. I do a lot of meal prepping. We do at our house. So we'll cook one night for 2 or 3 days at a time, and this is what it looks like. So I just brought, like last night, I made ground beef. So it's in a glass container in my refrigerator, so if anybody needs any kind of protein, they can do it. We ate this with lettuce cups. So this is a butter lettuce. So instead of a tortilla, you wrap it in here, put a little bit of this meat in there, maybe some salsa, some guacamole, some onions, some tomatoes. Have 3, 4, 5 of these. Knock yourself out. Then whatever's left over, I might take the plantains and eat the rest of that like a taco salad. So that's one option that's in our house right now. Here's another from the other night. So here's Brussels sprouts and asparagus. So we have this sitting in our house so that anybody who wants to eat has something ready to go. All you have to do is heat it up. All right, this I made last night in the crock pot, right? I put it in last night, and then she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making dinner for tomorrow. Okay. So I put salsa, tomatoes, onions, and 4 chicken breasts in the crock pot, and you cook it overnight just on low, whatever, for 8 hours. And then in the morning, stir it up, break it up, and it's just a, shredded chicken-based food. And you can do that again with tacos. You can make them in the lettuce. You can do them with the plantain chips. You can just do it on the side. You can do them with a salad. It just depends. But it's just having the food readily available and planning ahead and thinking ahead that's going to make an impact to make it important. And then here, we've got some more stuff here. This is a shrimp and vegetables and rice, because in my household, I have athletes that live there. My kids, do sports and train, and my husband trains competitively, and he consumes rice. And I notice when he's on rice, I do more rice and I gain a little bit more weight. When I don't do rice, I stay consistent. This is one of those go-to meals you get at Trader Joe's. This takes less than 5 minutes to prepare, and it's 100% paleo, except for some of the seasoning, but it's in here. You could take it out and not use it. It's just shrimp and vegetables, and you just put it in the wok. You cook the shrimp a little bit. You throw these vegetables in, and in 4 minutes, you have a dinner ready to go. All right, so eating out, right? So we're not going to say that you can't eat out. You've got to be able to live and go to restaurants and socialize and be cool with your family. But like I mentioned before, pick up a new hobby. Paleo and cooking go hand in hand. There are also food options for delivery. So we work with 2 companies. One is F3 Foods, and they are a company that delivers twice a week to your house. You can order a la carte. You can order for the week. You can tell them exactly what it is you're looking to do, and you get food delivery to your home. The other option is Sunfare. Same thing, fresh food delivery, but they deliver every single day based on specific diets and trends that you're looking to do. We've got some flyers for both of them, so if you guys are interested in that and would like information on home food delivery, it's ultimately the best way to set yourself up for success. If you know that I'm getting these 4, 5, 6 meals and things delivered to my house, and this is the only thing I'm going to eat, you are destined for success and to get to your level. You take any kind of guesswork out of it, and it makes it super easy and super convenient. Gelly did it for a month. You did the F3 Foods. You lost a couple pounds. Your body fat, went down, but that was exactly what you ate, and it works. So that's an option. For those of you who eat out at lunch every day, you're in an office environment, you go to lunch with coworkers, I would consider just maybe getting the lunches, because you're really going to save money. The lunches end up being between $7 and $8 per meal, and when you go out, you can't tell me you spend less than $10 eating out somewhere. The food comes prepared. Oh yeah, yeah. It's throw it in the microwave or throw it in the oven and go. Okay, so start with the basics when you go to a restaurant. Go gluten-free. Okay, so usually restaurants have a gluten-free menu or a healthy option. Take a look at that, but just try to go gluten-free, and that will eliminate more than half of that menu. Salad. When you order salads, order extra meat. Get extra salmon. Get extra tuna. Get extra chicken on there. Ask for meat to get added to your salad if there isn't a salad. Always add a chicken breast or add some type of protein. And then choose vinegar and oil as a dressing. Dressings are where you're going to consume a lot of calories as well. If you guys do this and you use the promo code SICFIT, you get like, I don't know, what's the percentage? $100 off your order. So it's pretty good. Or you do like a 30 or 40% off they do on your first order, depending on what you get. So salad, vinegar and oil as a dressing. A good trick is to ask for the dressing on the side. Dip your fork in the dressing so that you have a little bit of dressing, and then dip your fork in the salad and eat it. So you're not drenched in dressing, because a lot of the calories do come from that. A bunless burger. So wrap it in lettuce and add avocado to it. Ask for no bread, no bread, no bread, no bread. No one should be eating any bread. Avoid all dishes with sauces. So if there's a cream-based sauce or any kind of sauce mixture in there, ask what's in it. Typically, there's cornstarch, there's corn syrup, there's thickening agents in there, and that's all just extra junk that you just don't need in your body. Hold the bread. So before they bring it, before you have to say, or it's sitting in front of you and you're being tempted and you're talking to your friend and they're eating bread and butter and you're just like drooling over it and you want a piece, but you know you shouldn't have it, just say, please don't bring us any bread. If you see it's at a restaurant that they have bread baskets that they bring, just tell them from the beginning that you don't want it so you're not tempted. And your friend will thank you for it because misery loves company, right? Ask for substitutions. So if something comes with something that's not right or isn't paleo or isn't in your diet, don't feel bad about asking for something else. Ask for fruit instead. Ask for a side salad instead. Ask to supplement it with more vegetables. 90% of the times they're going to say yes. 10% of the time they're going to say no. You know, of that 90%, another 10% of the time they're going to say, oh, that's going to be extra. It just depends on what you're doing, but ultimately your health is more important. Chew your food to applesauce consistency. So you want to take time and eat your food and really enjoy it. Your saliva is there for a reason. It's there to break the food down. So chew it until it gets to the point that's like toothpaste or applesauce, and you're going to help your digestive tract immensely by doing that. Don't drink water while you eat. Let your saliva do its job. Your saliva is there to break the food down and to help you digest that food. Don't drink until probably a half hour after you've had your meal, or drink before you have it. But you really shouldn't be drinking a ton of liquids and eating at the same time. You're using that liquid to then break down that food and run it through your body versus using your saliva to do that and absorbing those nutrients. All right, I'm going to set you up with some tips and tricks for success. So you've got to define what your reason is. What's your why? Why do you want to do this? Is it to live healthier? Is it to lose weight? Is it because you just don't feel good in your clothes anymore? Is it because you've got somebody that you need to take care of and you want to be able to go up and down the stairs or get up and down off the floor or play with them, or you've got the rest of your life ahead of you and you don't want to be in this position? But really dig down and deep and go, why is it that I want to make this change? And then commit to it, right? And enlist the help of a coach. Enlist somebody who can help guide you through that process and hold you accountable. We talk a lot about accountability in here. And it's doing what you say when you're going to say and holding your feet to the fire. Because people can talk a good game, but until they get called out on their BS, that's a different story. So you've got to find somebody who's going to be willing to do that. And that's one of the characteristics that that really kind of sets us apart from other facilities, is we'll do that for you as well. Stay away from processed food and packaged food. Again, if you can't read it, you can't eat it. Good. Read all labels. They are listed in order of most to least. So if it has wheat as the first ingredient, you know that's what it has the most of. It has sugar as the most ingredient, or first ingredient, you know that's what the most of. So again, it's listed in order. If it doesn't have a mother or grow from the earth, it's not real food. Shop the outside aisles of the grocery store. So all the perishable items are on the outside aisles. Fruits, vegetables, meats, things that have to be refrigerated. Stay away from the middle. All those 500,000 food items that were added are all in the middle. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You've got to prepare your next meal. You've got to always be thinking about what am I going to eat next, what's going to happen next. And you kind of get obsessive over food a little bit, but it helps. You've got to have things readily available so that when you're hungry, you can go to them and eat them. The worst is when you're caught without food and you're trying to really do this and you're like, shit, where do I go? I'm going to drive through. I need something fast. Grocery stores are the best place to stop. So if you're near a grocery store, stop in, go to a salad bar, go get something that you can grab and go in a grocery store that's real food. In-N-Out Burger is another good fast food option. Not all the time, but every once in a while. And you just ask for the burger protein style, so with no bread. And they'll wrap that in lettuce for you. They've got a special menu that they don't really talk about. Chick-fil-A is another option for fast food. Not that I'm condoning fast food, but again, if you have to go and do it, they have a grilled chicken strip that's pretty good and has least amount of ingredients possible in it. Stay away from any kind of like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, those types of chains, and really read what's in those items. I have a friend who did an experiment. I don't know if you've seen the experiment with taking a Big Mac, and she put it under it was like a cake holder, and she had it there for 6 months, and it didn't go bad. And she's a nutritionist, and she's just using it to prove a point. But it didn't, food needs to go bad after 6 months, right? She can probably leave it there for years. It's got enough preservatives being pumped into that to keep that, ripe and still looking good. No mold, no nothing on it. Just, yeah. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water a day. We touched on that earlier. Weigh yourself. We've got a scale in the bathroom there. There's 2 of them before you leave. Figure out what that water consumption intake is, and that's an easy commitment to be able to make tomorrow to start. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. So we're doing this for longevity so you can do this the rest of your life. If you're in it for weight loss, you go hardcore for 30 days. 30 days. After 30 days, you can decide where you want to take it, but you're going to see 10, 15, 20 pounds fall off of you. I have not seen one person be unsuccessful doing that for 30 days, and I've been doing this for 8 years, sharing this program. There are a couple people in our BNI group, April, you've heard them talk about it. They are in their 50s, you think they're 50 years old? And they did a challenge with me that started in November. One of them is the lightest he's ever been in his life now. And another one lost 26 pounds. I've got another girl, Suzanne, who started in November. She's down 42 pounds. And it's just, once that starts melting off and you get somebody to go like, wow, you look good, or oh my God, have you lost weight? Those are fueling things and comments that are going to keep you going, keep you motivated. So you just have to make a start and make a commitment to do it. So after that initial time frame, that 30 days, or you're at goal weight, then it's about living 80-20. 80% of the time, you're following it strict, and 20% of the time, you might not. You might have cream in your coffee. I might have a piece of birthday cake at my son's birthday party. I might have a piece of pizza every once in a while, but it's not something that I'm consuming on a regular basis, and I'm ordering for dinner 2, 3, 4 times a week. All right, well, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. I'll be sticking around here. Kaylin is over here in case anybody wants to buy anything at the retail area station, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much.